Hey, what's up, guys? It's Dr. Adam. This week I want to talk about vaccines. I know we've done some previous blogs on vaccines, but just probably in the past 2 weeks, had a couple owners with some really good questions, and I think it's a good discussion piece. So people always ask, what's your opinion on vaccines? And I think it's one shoe doesn't fit all. I mean, I think ultimately the best way to explain vaccine protocols, it should be customized around the particular patient, right? So if you have an older dog with an immune-mediated condition, is that a dog that should probably be getting annual vaccines? Probably not. I think you prioritize on the disease at hand. Obviously, the immune system is compromised, and vaccines obviously aren't the top priority. So let's take your middle-aged dog or cat. I look at each one of those as an individual patient. I always say, you got the dog that lives in the Trump Tower that never leaves the tower and uses potty pads, and then you got the dog that's hunting. So based upon that, you and the owner come to a discussion as far as what vaccines are best for that pet. The second aspect, and this is a hot and heated one amongst vets, is how often should you vaccinate? Should you do annual vaccines? Should you do an every 3-year protocol? The reality is, unless you're doing a titer every year, you don't know how long those antibodies are. And if you recall, antibodies are what a vaccine is trying to stimulate. It's trying to make your body produce antibodies, which is ultimately, if you go to fight off or actually experience the disease, you would have the antibodies to help fight it off. So the reality is, a 1-year rabies shot could last 7, 8, 9 years. A distemper shot may last 6, 7 years. So why don't we do that every 6, 7 years? Because every dog's immune system is different. A 1-year distemper may only last 3 years in one dog and 10 years in another. So ultimately, at the end of the day, if you want to guarantee immunity, my 2 cents is we can do an annual booster. For those owners that want to take a little bit more holistic route, I have no opposition to doing titers. And a titer is basically a blood level that checks the active antibody level. And if it's above an adequate amount, that's what we consider sufficient for still being covered against that particular disease or vaccine, then you're good. You don't need to rebooster. Now, is every owner willing to do a titer? Probably not, because it's additional cost. So if the animal's otherwise fine and has no pre-existing signs of an adverse reaction or pre-existing disease, then to me, doing an annual booster, my personal preference, as long as me and the owner come to a conclusion that that's what's best, then I'm not opposed to boostering annually. But as they do get older, I'll be honest, I tend to back off a little bit and prioritize more blood work and prophylaxis as opposed to annual vaccines. But again, this is a hot and heated subject, and it's one that there's no right or wrong answer. I think ultimately, you as an owner and a bully owner, you have to sit down and say what's best for your bulldog. So the purpose of the vaccine or the visit is not come in, get your rabies shot, and walk out. With a bulldog, it's come in, get a good annual exam, go over some of the prophylactic stuff you should be doing, and then on top of that, customize what vaccines are best for your pet. So hopefully that helps. Please, guys, send me any questions. I'd be more than willing to help and get back to you. But again, it's not a one shoe fits all with vaccines. So hopefully that helps, guys. Take care.